my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. 'Cause your goodness is running after me. Welcome to our daily devotion. We are on the third episode on life worth living, and our third episode is on grace, goodness, and mercy. Now, I would want you to know that many of us we think that grace and mercy is the same, but there is a difference because when we are talking about mercy, is when you don't get what you deserve. um, for fallen humanity. We all deserve hell. We've sinned against the holy God and tried to elevate ourselves to his rank. He deserved nothing. We deserve nothing but punishment. The fact that we are breathing right now is God's mercy towards us. Just like he showed mercy toward Adam and Eve when they sinned in the garden. He hasn't given us the immediate death as we deserve for our rebellion. Now, when we talk about grace, it is when we get what we don't deserve. It's everything over and above, not being annihilated. It's the way food tastes delicious. It's the way music brings us joy. And mostly, it's the way we get to enter into a relationship with God despite our wickedness. Job has done nothing wrong in entire time we are in the book of Job. He has done nothing wrong, but he's still a sinful fallen human like the rest of us. He knows he deserves annihilation, but he also knows God might still show him mercy because he knows God's character, as we are going to see in Job chapter 9 verses 15, New Living Translation. Even if I were right, I would have no defense. I could only plead for mercy. Job could only plead for mercy because you know what? Mercy, yes, we get it. We are getting it for what we deserve. Huh? Mercy is when you don't get what you deserve. For fallen humanity, we all deserve hell. But now, because of God's mercy, the Lord gets us out of that. We are not punished because of God's mercies towards us. But then, on the other hand, grace is we get grace when when you get what you don't deserve. It's everything over and above. Now, as we continue to hear the word of God, Job, this is something I would want us to have a look at because many of us, we think that people are in the way they are, just like Job's friends. They thought that, especially one of them, Eliphaz, he actually made two mistakes in chapter 5 of Job. He made all suffering the result of sin. Huh? Now, it is true that all suffering is a result of sin in terms of the Garden of Eden, but all particular suffering is not the result of particular sin. People should avoid attributing specific tragedy to specific sin because it demands. It's only God who knows, and He is the one who knows all the secret things. And then the other mistake that he made, he said that all righteousness is rewarded and that all sin is judged. It is true that someday God will balance the scales. All righteousness will be rewarded and all sin judged. But Eliphaz's timing was off. Not all rewards of consequences are executed immediately or even during our time on earth. So this is why we need all of us to know very well and clearly. Just like, at the beginning, Job's friends, they were true encouragers actually for 1 week after when he had had all this, because we know what happened to them. They sat with him, they wept with him, and most importantly, they remained silent. Sometimes you just have to remain silent. That's why sometimes you don't, if you don't have the words to encourage somebody with, especially when they are in grief, you just keep quiet, because your speaking sometimes can end up destroying. But just remember the goodness of the Lord. And even you, when you are grieving, remember the goodness of the Lord. Remember his grace. Remember his mercy. And you know, when you remember his mercy, his goodness, and his grace, you are going to move on. You are going to stand, because it's by the grace. His grace is sufficient for us, even in those times when we think we don't know what to do. These friends, they kept silent at the beginning, but once they began to speak, they became Job's great discouragers. They responded to Job's words, but they failed to see his pain or to recognize suffering as a potential part of God's plan. They assumed Job's sin, never acknowledging the uniqueness of his suffering or seeking to understand his pain. That's what we do sometimes. We don't understand people's pains. So that's why it's sometimes good to keep quiet. If you wish to be godly encouragers, we will not speak until we have truly listened. Some of us, you just keep quiet and listen. We will not deliver prepackaged answers. We will not pretend to know what we could not possibly know. And we will not point a finger unless it is to direct our friend to the only true source of encouragement, God himself. Christian encouragement does not require backslapping, positive attitudes, or pep talks. It requires presence, showing up and being quietly supportive, more with our ears and our hearts than our mouths. So words do have a place when we are trying to help someone else, but it is prudent to let silence and our prayers do the talking if we are not sure of what to say in a situation. They will be far more eloquent. When friends or loved ones are facing trouble, remember, they do not need sarcasm. They need support. They do not need logic. They need love. They do not need experiences. They need encouragement. They do not need assumptions. They need assurances. They do not need advice. They need affirmation. They do not need peers platitudes. They need powerful principles. As comforters, we need to be compassionate like our God, but we also need to be men and women of compassionate truth who avoid senseless platitudes. Let's be more quiet. Let's be silent when we are trying to encourage somebody. And God is gonna encourage them through you. And you know what? Some of the encouragement that we get, Job chapter 7, verse 17, what are people that you should make so much of us, that we should think of us so often? Job realized that, you know what, we are just people. But he came to know that God, the way whoever he is, the powerful God, he looked at ourselves. I mean, who are we that God would be looking at us and even concerned about us? That he is concerned more of, he has created quite a number, everything we have, everything we see. He has created it, but he is more concerned with the humanity. He's concerned with us more than these other things, because that is why he gave man the responsibility of him taking dominion and taking the leadership and rulership to rule and govern that which God had created. Jeremiah 31, verse 17. So there is hope for your descendants, declares the Lord. Your children will return to their own land. So God, here we are getting an encouragement that even if when we see that we have lost everything, God is bringing us to a season of restoration. That is the God we serve, God who is merciful, God who is so good, God who is full of mercy. He will return and restore everything unto us. Isaiah 26, verse 3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Let's continue trusting in God, and He's going to keep our minds steadfast. He's gonna give us peace as we continue to be focused on him. 26 Isaiah 26 verse 12. Lord, you establish peace for us. All that we have accomplished, you have done for us. You see, let's look at what God has done for us. Let's not just look at the things we have lost. Let's look at what he has done and what he's about to do, because he's about to do mighty things, take us to another level and a glorious level. May the Lord bless you as you continue to honor him with your lives, and as you continue to wait upon him, because his grace is sufficient even in that time of pain and that time of when you are going through affliction. God, the grace of God is going to be sufficient. And even when you're in trouble, he's merciful. He's going to get you out of it and take care of you. And then goodness of God is there in sufficient, and it's there in great. I mean, his great, his goodness is there in abundance. And you know, his goodness runs after you. It is after you, the goodness of the Lord. You know, when sometimes you want to keep away, can you imagine the goodness of the Lord comes after you and brings you back? All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. 'Cause your goodness is running after me. God bless you. This is Bishop Dr. Grace Kariuki of Amazing Grace International Ministries and Abundant Glory International Ministries. Mother to the amazing champions and mother to the CMCs around the globe. This is, I invite you to visit our website at www.agracem.org. Please partner with us and become a vessel that God can use in our ministry. At the same time, you can also partner with us through by making sure you share what we have on YouTube and Facebook. Facebook is Karaoke Bishop Dr. Grace, and YouTube is Bishop Dr. Grace Karaoke. Share, subscribe, and please let's hear those comments on what God is doing, as the goodness of the Lord is running after me, and also his grace being sufficient and his mercies there in abundance after me, running, all of them running after you in life that is worthy living. Be blessed for now, and please listen to the other episodes 1 and 2, and God is going to bless you as you also get ready for the 4th episode, which is coming and is really powerful. Be blessed for now. Shalom, shalom.